go again. I read some news on the internet the other day. I must stop reading news on the internet because it's never really true, is it? But this kind of is. In a survey of reliable TVs, now this survey was taken in the United States of America. Samsung have come third in reliability. Number one was LG, number two was Sony. In my opinion, I would put those the other way around. I'd have Sony tops and LG second, only by the amount of Sony products and LG products that come into repair here. I can only speak as I find, as they say. So, Samsung at number three, you're absolutely kidding. If there was a top 10, and probably there is, Samsung would be number 10. Without a shadow of a doubt, the worst at the moment. And they've been the worst since the KU series came out. Then it was MU and NU. This particular TV here is a more recent TU. Then you've got the AUs, BUs and CUs, which are all similar. This is an OLED TV, which I saw, first of all, about 2 months ago. And it's got the 2 blink code. But then they left it out in the rain. And they said, do I want it for spares? And I said, yes. I'll use a mainboard maybe and a power board. When it came to me, this particular power board had got damp because they'd left it out in the rain and it had shorted out. And that kind of stopped me from having a play with what I call the paper trick. This is the screen, just in case you need to know. I will make a note of the model number for you. And also I ought to make a note of the model number of the main board, because that will help you. But anyway, that particular screen cover there, or the screen label, that is the one that is failing on this, and it's giving a 2 blink code. But I've got the TV, it's been damp, and the main board's shorted out as well. For some strange, weird coincidence, somebody was selling a whole set of boards for this on eBay for a tenner. So I took it anyway, because I thought, if I can get it back to the 2 blink stage, that would help me. And then maybe, with a bit of luck with the paper trick, I could get it up and running. So at the moment, I'm just taking the old mainboard out. I also noticed they've given me all the cables and stuff that go with it, which is very nice. Incidentally, if anybody needs a power board for this TV, let me know. I've got one. It's doing nothing. I'd rather somebody had it that could use it. I doubt very much that I will use it for anything. But I'm going to swap this mainboard over. But yeah, Samsung at the moment, in my honest opinion, have really worse than Vestel, much worse than Vestel. Vestel give a good 4K picture quality, a good HD picture quality. It's cheap and it's cheerful and it's going to last you at least 2 or 3 years. Samsung aren't at the moment. I picked up another one today, which is an AU, which is 13 months old. It's just a month out of its warranty period, and Samsung are not willing to help, and that is just terrible. The truth is, they need to help, and they should help by law, but I'm not going to use this video to go into the logistics of the law and what they should do, etc., with the Sales of Goods Act. But if you stamp your feet, they have to do something, especially at 13 months. This TV is just a bit older than that. This TV is probably 2 years and 2 months, something like that. Not much older, but it's a couple of years older at least. So I'm just going to stick a mainboard in here. And at the moment I'm struggling because I'm in Egypt. You probably noticed with the way that the LVDS cable is on the side there that I've got the mainboard the wrong way around. There you go. Just sobered up in time to realise. And I'm hoping I can get this TV back to its 2 blink code status. If I can, then I'm going to be trying, and I've heard that you can't repair these with the paper trick, but I like to have a go. And I must admit, I've had a couple of these in the past, and I haven't been able to repair them. But it's just dreadful what Samsung are doing at the moment. So just let me finish this off and get this set up, and let's see if I can get it back to 2 blinks. Maybe I can. And there is the there's the infrared sensor. Now, when the mainboard shorted out, that wasn't even coming on. I didn't get a blink. I didn't get a standby light. If you want to know where there's so many wires coming out of what is just supposedly an infrared sensor, well, the reason it's got built-in Wi-Fi and it's got the built-in Bluetooth module in that sensor as well. It's just asking for trouble, isn't it? So I'm hoping that I do get the 2-blink code coming back. So let me just set this up with the camera so you can see, and we'll have a look. And there you go, I've managed to recreate it. It would have been nice if the TV would have come on, but can't have everything. 2-blink code is panel failure. When we say panel failure, technically that means screen failure. And more than likely with Samsung, it will be a problem with the clock lines shorting out. On one side, I would imagine this screen is divided into master and slave. Master on the left-hand side, slave on the right-hand side. But you can see with the 2-blink code, it's just recycling. But when it does come on, it doesn't bring an image. Now, obviously, I spent a fair amount of time on this TV this afternoon. And by the magic of video editing, I can cut out some of that time and let you know exactly where the problem is. I'm going to need to remove the speakers because it's always the slave that's the problem, not the master side of things. So there's the join there. Left-hand side is what you call the master screen. Slaves over to a right-hand side here, and it's always the right-hand side that's the problem. Now just look where I'm pulling that. Can you see that little gold strip that's going into the socket there? That's where your problems are. That's where the clock line. That's where the clock lines are, and the clock lines are missing a voltage. And some of the clock lines will probably be shorting out as well. I don't bother measuring them. I just find out where the short is, where the over voltage or where the under voltage is, and then I will go looking for a piece of paper to block it off. So at the moment, because I've disconnected that right-hand side, look, the TV is now staying on. No image, but it's not power cycling as we call it. It's not recycling. It's staying on. So that's what confirms that it is the slave side which is causing the issue. Now, the other thing which you can possibly see there it's not bad. I've been given this TV, and they said, do you want me to pop it round? And they popped it round, but they popped it round when I was out, which was really good of them to donate the TV. They were fed up with it, obviously, and went to buy another one. Obviously not another Samsung. But they left it in my garden for 2 hours, and it was pouring with rain, which is why, sorry, I don't know if I explained that's the reason why the board had shorted out. It's not the reason for the fault. The fault is the clock lines. So let's go back. Now, can you see where that gold little insert is on the right-hand side on the slave? You can see I put a piece of paper underneath it. That is exactly where you need to stick that. I will put a freeze frame up so you can see, because my camera work is just lousy as per usual, but you did see it for a bit there. But there you go, look, there's a freeze frame of it, and that's exactly where it needs to be. So a piece of paper just slightly overlapping that gold bar. So you take out the cable, put in the piece of paper, and you block that section off. It took me about 15-20 minutes, if I'm being honest. Not long, but 15-20 minutes. And once you block that side off on the TU range, could be the 55s, could be the 43s, but this is a 50. TV comes back on. Is the picture 100%? It looks really good, to be honest with you, but if you get close up, I can see maybe a few lines on the left-hand side. There's the dampness that they've caused, but I may take the screen out one day and give that a clean, because this has been gifted to me now, and it is a shame. It may dry off, but I doubt it very much. It'll want a good wipe down. I may have to go searching for spare parts. The one thing you will find for this TV is plenty of spare parts, because people are just getting rid of them. And so one day I'll get another one of these, maybe with a smash screen, and I'll have all the spares to the back. But one Sunday I may dry that off. But that's where you put it. That's where you block off your lines on the slave side of the Samsung UE50 TU. There's obviously different model numbers after the TU, but if it's got that particular screen that you saw earlier, then that is where the problem is. And the TV just comes back to life. So hopefully this video has helped you. I do hope it has. If you've got one of these and you've got a 2-blink code, that's what you need to do. You don't need to put a new main board in. Just remember, I had to do that because they'd left it outside and the main board had got damp and wet, as you saw, and shorted out.